to my channel. My name's Gabrielle. So today we're going to talk about giving up alcohol. So I gave up alcohol last July 2023 and it is hands down one of the best decisions I have ever made. So I want to talk to you about my journey with giving up alcohol, the reasons I finally decided to give it up and the benefits that I've found since giving it up. In this video, I don't want to lecture anyone. It's absolutely your choice if you want to drink or not. I've not completely given up drink. So I went on holiday about a month ago. I went to Mallorca with my boyfriend and I ended up having 3 drinks on holiday. But literally since July last year, I have probably had a total of 15 drinks in a year and 3 months. So I am near enough sober. Literally, I've barely had any drinks and I'm really feeling great for it. So let's get straight to it with the reasons I decided to give up alcohol. Number one reason I decided to give up alcohol is that I'm in my 30s now, and for the last 20 years, I have not had the greatest time with my mental health. If you look at my previous videos, I've had eating disorders, I've had skin picking disorders and hospitalized myself. I've had depression and anxiety, blah, 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 various things. I've not been having the greatest time. And recently in my 30s, after hitting numerous rock bottoms, I've had to really look at myself in the mirror and do a review of my whole life, do a full stock check review of my whole life, and be really honest with myself about things that are working for me and things that are making me feel good and things that really aren't serving me anymore and really aren't aligning with my purpose and aligning with just allowing me to thrive in life. So yeah, after feeling pretty rubbish this last 20 years, I am just on a mission at the minute to thrive mentally and physically, and alcohol just doesn't align with that for me. So I had a particularly bad relationship with alcohol. You wouldn't catch me just having a glass of wine with dinner. I don't really like the taste of alcohol. It would be every 3 to 6 months, maybe once a month, having an absolute blowout. So I think because of the bad mental health and the stuff that I've been through in life, I used alcohol as an escape. It was a release for me. It was a way of running away from my problems for a night or an evening or a day. I would get absolutely obliterated. I can remember saying to my friends, like, we'd be going out and I'd be like, I want to get absolutely annihilated tonight, which obviously isn't the smartest thing to be doing. And really, when I've looked back over the years, I've noticed a pattern with the eating disorder side of things, the skin picking disorder, the bad mental health and the negative narrative in my mind. And the common thing is that I have been being unkind to myself throughout this last 20 years. I have been harming myself in various ways. And that was an epiphany that I had when I went for therapy a few years ago. I to some reason, harm myself. And I think that comes from a lack of self-love, not respecting myself, not believing in myself, wanting to change myself and be something else, someone else. Alcohol and having these blowouts and these benders was another form of harming myself. Like I said, I didn't just go for a nice glass of wine, maybe 4 glasses of wine. I'd just get absolutely obliterated. I'd end up in terrible states. I'd make terrible decisions. I'd put myself and my safety in jeopardy. And to be honest, I just really didn't like myself when I was drunk. I'm embarrassing, I'm annoying, and yeah, I just didn't like the person that I was on alcohol. So yeah, these last few years, like I said, I've been making changes, and alcohol was one of the things where I was like, you know what, I've got a really unhealthy relationship with alcohol. I'm using it as a form of escapism. I'm using it as a tool to harm myself. Because like the next day I'd have a terrible hangover, I'd be in a pit of absolute despair, I'd have anxiety and depression for like the week after. Also, I would be vomiting the next day in the sink, just continuously vomiting all day. And I just thought, this is just not working for me. This is just awful. I don't want to be doing this to myself anymore. Like, seriously, what am I doing? I'm just causing harm to myself. That was the number one reason really why I decided to give it up, because within my epiphanies about how I treated myself, I was using alcohol as a tool to harm myself. And now I live by the motto of being kind to myself, and my relationship with alcohol, that just didn't fit into that motto. So that's one of the main reasons why I decided to give it up. Second reason was, obviously alcohol gave me hangovers, but even when I was drinking, like that first drink, I didn't feel good. So recently, as I've been on this healing journey since I've had these rock bottoms and been to therapy and been really honest with myself, one thing that I've done is, instead of being distracted all the time, because I've noticed that previously in the past I was just continuously distracting myself with external things. I couldn't really sit with myself and tune into my body and my mind and my soul. And now I am able to sit with myself and be calm and peaceful. And I've really been able to tune into my intuition, but also the cues from my body. And I've noticed subtle and obvious signs from my body about when it's thriving and when it's not feeling good. And I've noticed when I drink alcohol, like I said, even that first glass or two, I don't feel good. Alcohol makes me tired. I am not naturally a very high energy person. I'm quite introverted unless you get to know me. And in a group setting, yeah, I'm pretty quiet, I'm more reserved. So for me, if I'm in a group setting, say I'm going to a work social event, I need all the energy I can get, and alcohol does not give me energy. But that makes sense because alcohol is actually a depressant. So for some people, yeah, it is going to make you feel sleepy, it is going to make you feel withdrawn. So when I tuned into my body and I realized this, I was just like, it's not serving me. Like, alcohol isn't even giving me a buzz. It's not doing anything positive for my life. Also, I don't even like the taste of alcohol really. Like, I'd rather have a hot chocolate or a Coca-Cola than a rum and coke or a glass of wine or a glass of cider. On a hot sunny day, I'd rather just have a lemonade or a coke or a ginger beer, non-alcoholic. So yeah, alcohol it just didn't make me feel good in the moment. It was zapping my energy, it was making me feel tired. And in social situations, like I said, I need all the energy I can get. So that was another reason why I decided to give it up, because it's not even giving me a buzz. Like, most people drink because it gives them confidence, it makes them feel good, it gives them a buzz, it makes them feel calm. That's another thing. Alcohol actually gives me anxiety. So sometimes I'd have that first drink and then I'd feel anxious, and then I'd have to drink a few more drinks to take away the anxiety. But obviously that few more drinks turns into 10 drinks, turns into the next day, then being riddled with anxiety and depression. My third and final reason for giving up alcohol is that alcohol is not good for our mental and physical health. Like I said, I've been on a journey recently after feeling rubbish for like the last 20 years with anxiety and depression. I want to feel good. I believe there was a better way to be living than how I was living. And alcohol, it's known to be bad for our mental health and our physical health. So it increases anxiety and depression. If you've got anxiety and depression, I believe you should not be drinking. I believe if you're serious about wanting to feel better, you need to give up stuff like alcohol. Because yeah, if you've got anxiety or depression, alcohol's a depressant. I just found that I don't want any substance like meddling and interfering with my body and like the chemical makeup of my brain. The way that my mind's been wired up for the last 20 years, it's been more on the negative side and negative narrative. And I can easily fall back into that. And I find that something like alcohol, which is a depressant, can easily make me fall back into that negative narrative. and just generally feeling rubbish. Like after I used to drink for the next week, like I'd have a drink on a Saturday, have a blowout, and then Sunday I'd feel absolutely terrible. Then I'd go into work on Monday, and when it came to my mental health, I'd just be feeling low mood, down. And on Monday I'd have to go to the gym and I wouldn't feel like going to the gym. Literally, like everything just went out the window that week. I probably would have gone to the gym, but I just didn't feel like doing anything. I just felt down, I just felt depressed. And for me, that is not worth it anymore. Like feeling fresh and feeling good mentally, like nothing can beat that. And it is not worth the sacrifice anymore going out for drinks. With regards to our physical health, we all know that alcohol isn't good for our organs. So like your liver, it's not good for your liver, but also alcohol is actually classed as a carcinogen. So the World Health Organization has classed alcohol as a carcinogen, which obviously means it's related to giving you cancer. And if you type into Google, is alcohol a carcinogen, this is one of the first things that came up for me. So this is off the World Health Organization website. It says alcohol is a toxic, psychoactive and dependence producing substance and has been classified as a group 1 carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer decades ago. This is the highest risk group, which also includes asbestos, radiation and tobacco. I feel like most people, well, there's quite a lot of people who don't even realise that alcohol is a carcinogen. To be honest, I've only heard about this in recent years, but for it to be in the same category as asbestos and radiation, for me, it's just a no-no. Also, they've put alcohol causes at least 7 types of cancer, including the most common cancers such as bowel cancer and female breast cancer. And it goes on to say the risk of developing cancer increases substantially the more alcohol is consumed. However, latest available data indicate that half of all alcohol attributable cancers in the WHO European region are caused by light and moderate alcohol consumption, less than 1.5 litres of wine or less than 3.5 litres of beer, or less than 450 millilitres of spirits per week. This drinking pattern is responsible for the majority of alcohol attributable breast cancers in women. So yeah, we all knew alcohol wasn't good for us, but I've never read anything like this, and it just reinforces my reason for not drinking at all or keeping it to an absolute minimum. I know that people say, oh, well, everything gives you cancer. But for me, I don't believe everything gives you cancer. I don't believe in that blanket statement of everything gives you cancer, so I'll just do whatever I want. I believe there's certain things that are more likely to give you cancer than others, and alcohol, it seems, is definitely more likely to give you cancer than other things. So the number one thing I've noticed from giving up alcohol is my mental health. It just feels more steady and more balanced, and I don't feel like I'm getting derailed. Obviously, like I said, when you drink alcohol, those chemicals, they're going into your body, they're going into your brain, and they're altering how you feel, not just on that day or the day after, but it can be up to a week after that. I feel like those effects, down and depressed and anxious. So I'm not really experiencing that anymore. Yes, sometimes I still get low days, I sometimes still feel anxious, but overall I feel like my mental health is more on track. Generally, I just feel a lot more motivated, a lot more clear-headed and just happier overall. Number 2, it just feels liberating to make a stand and not go along with what everyone else is doing. So especially in the UK, it feels like everyone goes out and drinks. Like at the weekend, what you're going to do, go out and have a drink. It's date night, what are you and your partner going to do? Go out and have a drink. Oh, it's Christmas, have a drink. It's Father's Day, have a drink. It's your birthday, have a drink. It's your mum and dad's anniversary, have a drink. Drink, 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 drink. And to be honest, I'm just absolutely sick of it. I don't need to drink to have a good time. And yeah, to be honest, at the start of my journey, I was like, oh, is this boring? How am I going to be able to do it with like events where everyone's drinking and I'm not drinking? I'm not going to be able to do it. But I have done it, and if I can do it, you can do it as well. Obviously, it's up to you what you choose. But yeah, it just feels liberating to be like, you know what? Everyone's doing that thing, and everyone's doing that thing that's bad for them, and I'm not going to do that thing anymore. I'm going to put my mental and physical health first, and I'm not going to feel peer pressured, and I'm going to do what's right for me and make a stand. So that has made me feel really great, and it gives me a buzz. Number 3, and this is a massive one that I've realised, I don't need alcohol to socialise. Like, I thought I'll definitely need alcohol to go to my summer party. Oh, I'll definitely need alcohol to go to my Christmas party in a few months. No, I don't need it. Literally, like I said, alcohol made me feel tired. It gave me anxiety when I was drinking it. It depleted my social battery. I have better social experiences without alcohol. I have realised I really, really do not need alcohol. Alcohol adds nothing to my evening. So I've got my Christmas party coming up in a couple of months. And actually, I think it'll be like 4 weeks away now. And I'm planning, maybe I'll have one drink, but probably not. We're getting a cocktail maker to come into the office beforehand, and he's making a pina colada, and I really love pina coladas. But do you know what? Especially after doing this video, I think no, have a non-alcoholic pina colada. I don't feel any pressure to drink at this Christmas party. I don't feel like, oh, I won't feel confident, I won't be able to socialise, I won't be able to dance, I won't be able to have a good time. No, I am happy to go sober. Literally, like I said, alcohol, it doesn't add anything to my evening positive. And yeah, that's just been like a real epiphany, and it's just been great to realize that. It's just like, wow, like I'm learning different things about myself that I didn't even know existed. The 4th benefit is that I've got more money. I've got more money to spend, and I've got more money to spend on things that made me feel good. So to be honest, when I went out, I wouldn't say I spent loads, but maybe with like pre-drinks, going out drinking on the night, maybe like getting some food or whatever, I don't know, maybe it would come to like £70, £80. Now I can spend that on myself. So one thing I've done to make sure that I don't feel like I'm missing out, I'm like, right, that money that I spent on alcohol, I'm going to spend that on something else. I'm going to spend it on something that makes me feel really good. So recently, in like the last year, since February, I've got into going to like breathwork sessions, cold water experiences, going to the sauna, going to spas. So now that's what I spend my money on, because it's so funny, like, you wouldn't blink an eyelid at spending like £100 on a night out on alcohol that you're literally going to drink and then like piss out the next day or the next morning, and that's going to make you feel absolutely crap. But then if it came to anything else, like if it came to like buying a book or going for a spa day, I'd be like, oh, I don't know whether I want to part with that money. Part with money that I'm going to put towards something that's actually going to make me feel really good mentally and physically. Literally, it doesn't even make sense. So now I take great joy in spending my money on things that make me feel really good. So like I said, going to spas, going to saunas, doing things that just make me feel good mentally and physically. And also I've got more money to save as well. Like, alcohol is so expensive. Like, around Manchester, cocktails range from probably like, I don't know, £8 to like £12, £15 for one drink. Like, that's just crazy. Also, now I'm not going out on these benders, I've got more time to invest in myself. So at the weekends, instead of going out drinking, I'm thinking about my future, thinking of my big dreams and goals. Like, literally, I've never really felt like this before. I felt so lost in life for like so long. But now that a few things have fallen into place, now that I've sacrificed a few things like alcohol, and my mind's more clear and I feel more motivated and joyful and purposeful, I'm now using this time to do stuff, productive things towards my future. So stuff like creating content, creating YouTube videos, thinking creatively, thinking of ideas, stuff like that, and doing stuff that's good for me, like going to the sauna, going to the gym and stuff like that. That's how I'm now choosing to spend my time, and it just feels like such a more productive and better way to use my time. And finally, what I've noticed from giving up alcohol is that I absolutely love feeling fresh. Alcohol used to make me feel like, it used to make me feel groggy, tired, even on the night when I was drinking, anxious. Then the next day it would make me feel down and depressed. there's no more of that induced by alcohol. Like, I cannot stand the thought of feeling rough. I have not been rough for over a year now, and I never ever want to feel that feeling again. Like, when I think about it now, I can feel that feeling and it's absolutely horrible. But yeah, I never thought that I would buzz so much off feeling fresh. I just absolutely love it. I love waking up at the weekend feeling great mentally, feeling great physically, and having a productive day, or just a nice, calm, peaceful, relaxing day, like a wellness weekend where I'm going to the gym, going for a run, going to the sauna, doing my journaling, creating content, and not feeling rough, and just feeling myself and feeling happy and peaceful in my body. That has been another huge epiphany that I just never realised would happen. So guys, I'm going to conclude this video. Day to day, I don't really feel like drinking anymore. There's the odd time where I still get like a twang. I don't think twang's the right word. It's like an urge. I still get an urge to drink. Like, sometimes I'll feel like, oh, maybe I'll just have another blowout again. Maybe I need some release, or maybe I'm missing out, maybe I'm boring, maybe because I'm 34 now, going on 35. If I want to have kids, like, now's the time to like go out and be wild. So I get these little thoughts in my head, but when I have these thoughts, I just sit with them and I let some time pass, and then I usually will always, I think, you know what, yeah, go and have a blowout if you want, but then you'll have to suffer the consequences, and you'll feel anxious, you'll feel depressed. And then I remind myself, like, you don't need alcohol to socialize, and I remind myself why I'm doing this, for my physical health as well, and that alcohol is a carcinogen, stuff like that. So that keeps me on the right track. But yeah, sometimes I still think about having a blowout. Literally, like, the darkness still pulls me in. Obviously, not everyone has a bad relationship with alcohol, and you might be someone who maybe just has a couple of drinks and doesn't have all this depression and anxiety and acting out and being embarrassing and that when you drink, and that's absolutely fine. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do, but I'm just here to tell you that, yeah, I have suffered with anxiety and depression in the past. I've not been feeling great. I've been lost in life. And alcohol was one of those things that just didn't align with me. And I've stood up and made the big sacrifice. Obviously, it seems like everyone else is drinking, but I was like, no, I'm going to make a stand, and it has really benefited me, and I do think I will keep it up for the foreseeable. I cannot see me going back to binge drinking now. Maybe in the future I'll have the odd drink here and there. Maybe I'm not going to be completely teetotal, but I would like to be completely teetotal, to be honest, because whenever I've had the odd drink, I've just been like, oh, why did I have that? I didn't really need that. One thing I will say before I end this video, like I said, it's not for me to lecture people or preach about not drinking alcohol, but what I would say is that if you are feeling in a bit of a rut right now, if you're not feeling great mentally and physically, like I said, check in with yourself, sit with yourself, do some journaling, do some activities that are able to calm your mind, and try and tune in with your body, and do a review of your life and write everything down, and what makes you feel good, and what are you doing right now that makes you feel rubbish. What are your dreams and goals for the future, and what's stopping you from getting there? Because I'll tell you what, it all starts with the basics. It starts with the basics, like exercising, looking after your physical health, looking after your mental health. So doing stuff like journaling, not drinking, going to the sauna, meditating, yoga, eating healthy, nourishing your body. It starts with these foundations of good physical and mental health. That's what's going to provide you with the foundations and set you up to thrive in life and to start feeling motivated and thinking of these big dreams. And maybe you've not got any huge dreams, but you just want to feel happier, more content, more peaceful, and more safe and happy within your own body. Maybe that's your big goal. For me, that was one of my big goals, and slowly but surely I'm getting there now. Okay everyone, thanks for listening, and see you next time. Bye.